Well, hello and welcome everybody. It's Matthew Rowe with Aspire Career Services. Thank you for checking out the Aspire Hub. This training module is titled Fostering Team Diversity, where we do a dive into really understanding why this is so important and then some of the ways that you can ensure that you have a diverse team to really help you be as successful as you can as a leader. So let's dive right in. So the first is the introduction, where we're going to talk about the objective of this training module. So the objective is to understand the importance of diversity in teams, and often this thing is the thing that is most looked most regularly beginning in your leadership career. And the reason being is that you have this innate desire to go out and find people that are like you, or that you get along with, or that you like, or that it's easy to be in a group with, right? It's that mentality of trying to find your group, right? In high school, where you go and find the people that you identify with the most easily. And we carry that type of mindset into leadership when we first become a leader, where we want to find the people that we can get along with the most, find the ones that's easiest to talk to communicate with, that we relate with, that are most like us. And truly, what ends up happening is that sets us up for failure. So we'll talk about that as we move forward. A key focus is going to be strategies to foster diversity and its benefits. I really want us to have some takeaways or things that we can do to ensure that we do have a diverse team. And then the goal is to empower your team to thrive through diversity. So that's the goal of this entire presentation, is to ensure that you and your team are thriving through diversity. So let's talk about the importance of diversity in teams. The first is innovation. Diverse teams bring varied perspectives and ideas. This is something that is critical because when we all think alike, or when you're surrounded by people that are like minded individuals, what ends up happening is that you really truly limit your ability to come up with innovative solutions and ideas. And the simple reason why is because everybody's thinking alike. When you have a diverse team, what it truly does is it challenges each other, right? Disagreement happens, conflict happens. But if you have a good, strong, diverse culture where diversity and inclusion are important, then it ends up being productive and not destructive, right? Um, so the benefit is that it creates obvious, or drives creativity and innovation. This is when big ideas happen. This is whenever things that you would have never thought of before, or you make the statement of, why haven't I thought of that before? The reason you have it is because you're not them, and they have a different perspective than you, and they have a different worldview than you, they have a different upbringing than you, they have a different culture than you do. And it's okay to have those differences, because it really does drive that creativity and innovation. Decision making. Diversity leads to better decision making. And the benefit is it improves problem solving and outcomes. So when you're faced with big decisions or challenges that you've got to overcome as a team, the more perspectives you have, the better. The more options that you have, the more avenues that you can go down, the more options that you have. Whenever something fails, you can turn and come back and find something different that works. It really does lead to better decision making, where you're not just stuck thinking and doing the same old things and getting the same results every single time. And then inclusion. So it fosters a sense of belonging and respect. And the benefit of that is it enhances team cohesion and satisfaction. People want to be a part of a team where everybody's included, guys. That means every single person on your team. It doesn't matter their background, ethnicity, any of those factors that we can list off. None of that matters. All that matters is that you have everybody that feels included and a part of that team. When that happens, it creates a general sense for everybody that they feel accepted and that they're a valuable part of the team. Here's the thing: is that doing everything that I just talked about, the importance of diversity, it takes a lot of courage as a leader, because you're going to create intentional conflict. You might step on someone's toes. You might, you know, um, do something that someone might not agree with, or that's not the thing that you should do, or whatever. But the point is that you have to set the tone as the leader. All right, let's talk about strategies to foster a diverse environment. The first is inclusive hiring practices. Actively recruit from diverse talent pools. So, meaning don't just go to the same talent pool every single time, expecting that you're going to get all of your talent from there. Go to different colleges that you normally wouldn't go to, or different organizations or non for profits. Um, different parts of town. Right? You do not know where you're going to get your talent from. I always tell people all the time is that you know ability only makes up maybe 20% of whether they're going to be successful at a certain position or not. The other 80% are the intangible things like their mindset, their character, their values, those things that we can't go back and rewire or refix. We can mentor and coach and we can help them progress, but we can't go back and change those things, right? And you can find those things almost anywhere. And so if you're just limiting yourself to one source when it comes to hiring, you're truly limiting your ability, and it's likely you're not creating a diverse team. So action: review and adjust hiring criteria to promote diversity. Training and education, provide diversity and inclusion training. And once again, I think this is one of those things that get kind of a bad rap, or mixed reviews, or it turns political, which is such a shame, because there is tremendous value in educating and training other people on how to ensure that they are being inclusive inside of the environment. Right? It's almost like we're still in our childlike state sometimes whenever we're not including everybody, or when we're excluding people for certain factors or reasons. um, and the truth is that everybody deserves a seat at the table. Everybody deserves to have their voice heard. It doesn't always mean that everybody's going to get the same exact outcome, but they deserve the same opportunity, and that's the importance. So action is educate the team on cultural awareness and bias reduction. Um, it's so critical. Once again, a lot of it is ignorance. Some people think it's ill will, but a lot of times it's just ignorance. They have never been educated on the difference in different cultures, especially here in America. To be honest with you, we don't have a ton of exposure to other cultures. Right? It's just that American culture, because there's a lot of adaptation and assimilation that happens once people migrate here. And either that, or you're just kind of keeping yourself in a circle and not going outside of it. Open communication, encourage open dialogue and active listening. I think that's kind of and it says, create safe space for sharing and discussing diverse perspectives. That's one of those things where, once again, because it's become politicized, that we're afraid to talk about the diversity. And the truth is that we should encourage an open dialogue with curiosity on both ends, right? Meaning, I'm curious about your culture and where you're from and what your perspectives are and what your beliefs are, and then vice versa, that you're just as curious about mine. And when we have an environment where we're both just as curious about each other's diversity, then that's when we truly start to thrive. And when we can freely and openly communicate it without judgment, without negative comments, without all those things that we don't want. So promoting an inclusive culture. So leadership commitment. Leaders must model inclusive behaviors. I can't get this through enough, guys. Is if you want to be a leader and you're watching this right now, and either you're wanting to become a leader or you already are a leader, it's so critical that you must model this inclusive behavior. Meaning, if you are intentionally leaving anybody out, or even unintentionally leaving anybody out on your team, or giving, or favoritism, or any of those things, right? Um, you can think that it's not a big deal, and you might be watching it right now and be like, whatever, it's fine. The truth is it's not, because what ends up happening is that you create an environment of competition, and unhealthy competition, right? There's healthy competition and there's unhealthy competition. Whenever you exclude people, or whenever you leave people out, it creates an unhealthy environment of competition where people are competing for your attention. They're competing for your time. They're competing for value, or to feel valued. And whenever that happens, things get ugly. The ugly side of people come out, right? So you as a leader, you have to set the tone in the environment when it comes to including people. And that, once again, starts with you making sure you're including all of your team, right? Don't exclude anybody for any reason. The impact, it sets the tone for the entire organization. Once again, I always tell people, that I'm never going to give up on you. All I ask is that you don't give up on me. What I mean by that, kind of the practical side behind that, is that no matter what happens in our relationship, I'm not going to stop trying to connect with you. I'm not going to stop trying to develop you. I'm not going to stop trying to, hold you accountable, and create a good culture for you. I'm not going to stop all those things. I'm going to continue down that path no matter what. Even so much so that I've been in situations where I've had to write people up, multiple times for the same thing, and I turn around and say, "Hey, are you ready to coach? Right? Like, are you ready to go to the office? Let's start our mentoring session, or let's work on this skill development on this thing." Right? Because no matter what happens, um, I have to do my job, and my job is to help propel their success in their role, and I have to care enough to do that. So it doesn't stop, and you can't back off of that. And once again, that ties right into this leadership commitment of never excluding people or stop helping them or stop doing your job as a leader for them for any reason, especially for reasons like where they're from or culture or language or whatever, you can name it. Employee resource groups. So support diverse groups within the organization. Impact is it provides networking, mentoring, and support. So once again, finding these groups on the outside that can really help support you in that. Celebrating diversity, acknowledge and celebrate diverse cultures and backgrounds. Once again, don't just stick to the things that you've always known, and instead include the other, celebrations and festivals and all those things. And you might be asking, well, how do I do that? It's as easy as asking, saying, "Hey, what things do you celebrate in your culture, and how can we do that here? What does that look like?" Like, becoming curious and wanting to know more is the foundation of truly having a diverse and inclusive behavior environment. So truly become curious and just ask questions. And then the impact is it builds a sense of community and appreciation. So let's talk about the benefits of having a diverse team. So let's imagine you already have a diverse team, or this is something that's really important to you and you're actively building it. Well, these are some of the benefits you can get from it. Is in creativity. Diverse perspectives lead to innovative solutions. The result is out of the box thinking and competitive advantage. Once again, that last part we don't think about much, which is it truly does lead to a competitive advantage when you have a diverse team. Improved performance, diverse teams perform better and are more adaptable to change. Result is higher productivity and better outcomes. So whenever things change, whenever you have to adapt, I don't know, like let's say a pandemic, if you have a diverse team, then it's highly likely that your team adapted very efficiently, because you had a diverse team. Global perspective, a diverse team can better serve a global market. The result is broader market reach and understanding of customer needs. You truly can connect better with a more diverse team. All right, conclusion and next steps. So the summary is embrace diversity to drive innovation, improve performance, and enhance team satisfaction. Key word there, guys, is embrace it. Don't be afraid of it. Become curious, ask questions, get to know, truly embrace having a diverse team. The application is implement inclusive practices, foster open communication, and celebrate diversity within your team. Once again, that last part is so critical. Don't be afraid to celebrate the diversity that's within your team. And the action is to commit to building a diverse and inclusive environment for long-term success. So I hope that you have taken away something from this learning module, guys. And as a leader, I truly hope that you are dedicated and committed to having a diverse team. Once again, not for political reasons, not for the political rhetoric that's behind it, but for the simple fact that if you have a more diverse team, you're going to have so much more of a successful team, an adaptable team, a team that truly goes above and beyond and performs. So thank you guys and have a wonderful time.